Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer, brought to you by the You Need Faith in Jesus team. We're going to be digging into just one verse today from this ancient song that holds, I think, a really powerful key to finding clarity, especially when the world feels so confusing. So let's dive right into Psalm 36. This one line, this is really the heart of the whole psalm. It's this incredible promise, right, about gaining clarity and truth and just perspective. This idea of seeing light in God's light. That's going to be the lens for everything we look at today. Okay, so where does a psalm like this even come from? Well, you can think of the book of Psalms as like the official songbook of ancient Israel. It's this divinely inspired collection of just super honest prayers and raw anthems that cover the entire spectrum of human emotion. I mean, we're talking the highest highs to the absolute lowest lows. And what's really fascinating, I think, is the original Hebrew name for the book. It's Tehillim, which actually means praises. Now, this is so key because even the Psalms that start in total despair, the ones we call laments, they are all designed to lead the person praying or singing them back to a place of praise. They literally model that journey from darkness into light. And right at the heart of this songbook, it's one powerful voice, King David. And let me tell you, his life was not neat and tidy. I mean, his victories, his absolutely devastating failures, his gut-wrenching repentance, all of it becomes the raw material for these songs. He's not writing this from some ivory tower. He is writing from the trenches of his own messy, but also beautiful life. Now, Psalm 36 doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It's actually part of a bigger section, from Psalm 21 all the way to 41. And this whole block of Psalms, it really explores the turmoil and the triumphs of faith in a much deeper way, weaving together some really powerful themes. So in this section, you're going to find these amazing hints of the coming Messiah. You hear these shouts of just exuberant praise, and often they come right after a desperate cry for help. You also see these really honest reflections on deep, deep suffering. And this is crucial for Psalm 36. We get this recurring theme of practical wisdom that just draws this sharp, clear line between the path of the righteous and the path of the wicked. And that brings us right to Psalm 36. I want you to think of this psalm as a wisdom psalm that lays out two completely opposite worldviews. It's like two different operating systems for life. One is built on darkness and self-deception, and the other is built on the brilliant, solid light of God's reality. So on one side, you have the transgressor. Their world is just one of profound self-deception, and it's all fueled by this dangerous lack of awe for God. But on the other side, you have reality as David sees it, a world defined by God's vast, unwavering character, his loving kindness, his faithfulness. I mean, David says they're as immense and as real as the heavens themselves. And David really zeroes in on this. He says, "The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes." See, that's the foundational problem right there. That lack of a reverent, holy fear of God, that's like the source code for their entire operating system of deception and destruction. Without that awe, their moral compass is completely broken. But then, right after diagnosing all this darkness, the psalmist makes this just breathtaking turn. It pivots away from the small, self-contained world of the wicked, and it points us to this glorious revelation about God himself. So, what's the answer to all this darkness, right? What's the solution? David doesn't just offer some good advice. No, he points to a source, a single, powerful truth that changes absolutely everything. And here it is, the crucial point. He says, "For with thee is the fountain of life." Get that? God isn't just a source of life. He is the fountain. He's the original, endless wellspring of everything good, everything true, everything spiritually alive. Any other source we try to drink from, well, it's just going to leave us empty. So this connection he makes between God being the source of life and the source of light, it leads us right into the psalm's most powerful, most incredible conclusion. And this is the punchline, the part that ties it all together. In thy light shall we see light. It's that simple and that profound. True understanding, real clarity about ourselves, our world, our problems, it's only possible when we step into God's light and see things from his perspective. Trying to see in the darkness of our own understanding, that just leads to stumbling around. Okay, so this is some great theology for sure, but how does it actually work in our day-to-day lives? What do we do with this? Well, thankfully, the psalm doesn't leave us hanging. It gives us a really practical pathway to apply this wisdom and, move from confusion into real clarity. So this path to clarity really involves 3 steps. First up, acknowledge the deception. This just means being honest with ourselves about our tendency to self-deceive and really cultivating a healthy, reverent awe of God. Second, look to his character. This one's huge. We have to intentionally shift our focus from the size of our problems to the infinite size of God's loving kindness and his unwavering faithfulness. And then third, drink from the fountain. This is the active part, right? It's about actively seeking God through prayer, through his word, and just trusting him as the one true source of life, truth, and light. So at the end of the day, this journey to clarity isn't about us just trying harder to figure things out on our own. It's really a journey of turning. It's about turning away from the darkness of self-reliance and turning towards the brilliant, life-giving light of God. This devotional was brought to you by the UNFIJ in Jesus team. It has been a real privilege to walk through this with you today, and we truly hope it's been an encouragement. And so, we're going to leave you with this one final question to think about. In which light are you choosing to see your world today? Is it the dim, flickering light of your own understanding, or the brilliant, unwavering light of God? The choice really is yours.